The views expressed in this blog are hosted on my own website, are strictly personal, and do not reflect the views of any organization.
Hello and welcome friends once again to Straight Bat, my weekly video blog where, as the title suggests, I comment with a straight bat. Now there's been much comment in recent times over the film Kerala Story and before that over another film, Kashmir Files. Both these films have been extensively promoted by the powers that be in Delhi. Both films fitted in a way with a specific political narrative, a clear political agenda. One gathers that there are more such films in the making where the Muslim is likely to be seen as the enemy again. Now here is an idea for these very filmmakers. Why don't you folks now make a film called Manipur Files? Okay, I know that Manipur is located on the periphery of media consciousness and from the national media consciousness in particular, but let me throw you a few numbers that might wake you up from a collective slumber. In the last month, as per a detailed India Today report, 1,988 Meitei homes, 1,425 Kuki homes, 17 temples and 221 churches have been reportedly destroyed. This is as of June 2nd. The number, in fact, may only rise. There is no accurate number, in fact, at the moment of those who've died, but some reports indicate that around 100 people are feared dead. Now tell me, is this scale of violence not worth documenting in a film, Manipur Files? And if you do make a film like this, who will you pose as a villain this time? Remember, there are no Muslims in this bloody fight. Only ethnic groups, one predominantly Hindu, the other Christian, who've been engaged in these bloody clashes. I was in Manipur during the elections that took place last year, and one of the BJP's biggest trump cards was that the state was relatively peaceful in the last 5 years. The BJP benefited from that peace dividend. So now when Meiteis are being pitted against Kukis, both groups proud citizens of Manipur and India, who does one hold accountable? Yes, it was a Manipur High Court ruling in April that is widely seen as the trigger for this violence. The court had directed the state to consider the case of the petitioners for inclusion of the Meitei community in the scheduled tribe list expeditiously. The prospect of the Meiteis being granted tribal status immediately sparked off an angry response from the Kuki community in particular, who feared that their rights, especially over the land in the hill areas, would be lost to the more politically influential Meiteis. The court order could not have come at a worse time. The Manipur government has been engaged over the last few months in a drive to evict many tribal villagers from reserve forests amidst claims of encroachment, illegal immigration and poppy cultivation. For the Kukis and Nagas who live in the hill areas and comprise around 40% of Manipur's population, the government's action and the court order posed a twin challenge. They feared that the Meitei-dominated Manipur government was attempting to slowly control the hill areas around the Imphal Valley that account for around 90% of the land area in Manipur. When the Kuki leadership first began the protests against the court order, the Biren Singh government in Manipur was caught napping. Instead of seeking a dialogue that could resolve the fears and the anxieties of the Kukis in areas like Churachandpur, the Manipur government played hardball, refusing initially to even speak to the Kuki groups who had hit the streets and burned the effigies of the chief minister. As the protests turned violent, the Manipur government seems to have instead played with fire by stoking dangerous identity politics. The well-armed Kuki militant groups have been branded as terrorists by the chief minister, who holds them responsible for the spiraling violence. The Kuki groups in turn have accused the chief minister of supporting extremist Meitei groups like the Arumbai Tengol and the Meitei Lipun, and even allowing them to steal Yes, steal, my friends, weapons from the state security forces in the Imphal Valley. An official assessment by the state police headquarters has revealed that at least 500,000 bullets, including mortars, and 3,500 guns were stolen. Please think about what I am just saying again. Guns and bullets being stolen from the state armories and the police stations in Manipur, especially in Imphal. In any other part of the country, this would be seen as an act of high treason that would lead to a massive uproar, would result in, if not the dismissal of the state government, but at the very least, action against the culprits and some element of accountability. So I ask today, where does the buck stop in Manipur? The Union Minister Amit Shah was almost forced to travel to Manipur and spend 3 days in the state, and this should reveal just how grave the security challenge this violence in a border state poses. Mr. Shah went to Manipur in end May. Good for him. But that's almost a month after the violence first erupted. Was it then a case of too little, too late? Truth is, the Home Minister's calendar in the end of April and the first half of May was booked. Why? Because he was focused on the Karnataka elections. He was crisscrossing the state on a daily basis. At that point, all that mattered for the BJP and Mr. Shah was winning Karnataka. Manipur, it seems, could wait. It, after all, has only 2 Lok Sabha seats. This is what happens, my friends, when election cycles begin to matter more than core issues of governance and law and order. What then of the Chief Minister Biren Singh? In a state that was traditionally dominated by the Congress and regional outfits, Biren Singh, who was once a staunch congressman, just ahead of the 2017 elections, switched to the BJP after falling out with the state's long-serving Chief Minister, Ibobi Singh. In the 2017 elections, the Congress won 28 seats and the BJP won 21 in the 60-member assembly. As the single largest party, just 2 short of the majority, you would have expected that the governor would invite the Congress to have first shot at forming a government. What happens? The governor allows the BJP time to break the smaller parties, woo independents, and eventually even break the Congress. And it is the BJP that forms the government in Imphal. It was a Operation Lotus all over again, Operation Kamla as they call it, which actually, friends, is synonymous with corrupting the political system of the country. The Manipur governor at the time was Najma Heptullah, herself a former congresswoman who had switched to the BJP years ago. I remember asking Mrs. Heptullah as to why she invited the BJP to form the government. Her answer, you know, Rajdeep, the BJP moved faster to get the required numbers. Now maybe Biren Singh knows a thing or two about speed and how to tackle political opponents. He was, before becoming a politician and chief minister, a reasonably successful professional footballer with the border security force. In fact, when I visited Mr. Singh's residence last year, he showed me a photograph of his lifting the prestigious Durand Cup after defeating Mohan Bagan in the final. In football though, you have to play by the rules, and there is a referee who can show you a red card if you have committed foul play. Unfortunately, in politics, there are no red cards. In fact, foul play and behind the scenes wheeling and dealing is often encouraged. During the elections last year, there was a buzz about money power being used to win tightly contested seats, about how even in some of the Naga and Kuki dominated areas, deals had been struck to ensure that the BJP would be well ahead of the competition. You see, the problem is when you then start striking deals as part of these local political battles for limited electoral benefit in an area as turbulent as the Northeast, then it isn't easy to control the forces that get emboldened. The well-armed militant groups with cross-border connections, some of whom even feed possibly on drug money, are only looking for an opportunity to strike back. The cycle of violence and retaliation in Manipur that has left thousands of innocents homeless is a reminder that the simmering cauldron of ethnic divides only needs a small trigger to explode. Manipur is a major security challenge that also reveals the limits of power politics. You can win elections by flexing money and muscle power, but how will you win the hearts and minds of ordinary people? Like it or not, the government in Imphal and the center in Delhi has blood on its hands. Think about it. That was the Straight Bat. Do of course subscribe to my YouTube channel for many more such videos. For now, stay well, stay safe. Jai Hind, Namaskar.